Okay, it's Greg and Boris. Nick Dutch here yet again. Before I settle down to work, I just thought I'd get my blood pressure boiling just for a few moments. And we're going to have a look at a video. I haven't seen this video before, and it's by VenomFangX. Maybe this will actually prove that VenomFangX is in fact the devil himself. I do not know. Let's start from the top. The first thing we notice even before we press the play button is it says here, vote 5 stars to counter atheists or vote bots. Now that's odd because it's the atheists who are actually interested in free discussion, and we have evidence that the creationists, including VenomFangX, have actually been working at censorship. So that's a falsehood straight away even before we started the video. Anyway, let's click play and see what happens.
Hey guys, a few days ago I posted a video called 5 Questions for an Atheist. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it so you know what we're talking about in this video, and come back here when you're done. TJ, the man who I asked the questions to, also made a video in response to it, and in this video I'm going to answer his objections as well as answer the 5 questions that he made to me, which I promised to answer.
Well, so far so good. You know, we haven't heard any evil shit from him, and we're already 20 seconds into the video. There's something not quite right here.
Now, the questions I asked TJ were meant to provoke in him some thought in which he'd have to use common sense to come about to the necessity of God's existence.
Wait a second. Common sense and the necessity of God's existence that's like a non sequitur that does not go. So now we have the second bit of bullshit if you don't count the, no, it's the first bit of bullshit if you don't count that little sign we saw at the beginning of the video. And I would say this is the second bit of bullshit if you consider that little sign we saw at the beginning of the video.
Unfortunately, TJ's objections are very weak and disappointing.
Absolutely not. His reasoning is actually well based upon logic and intelligence, unlike yours, which are based upon logical fallacies, xenophobia, racism, and basically all kinds of other evil things which you somehow believe is justified in the name of your evil satanic god.
So I will show you. And then the questions he asked me were not meant to provoke thought, but only to provoke me.
That's not true. I watched the video by TJ, and it actually was not designed to be provocative. It was actually quite open and quite rational. So we again have another example of bullshit from the Prince of Darkness here, shown in a grayish t-shirt.
There were only attacks on my character and meant to try and undermine my message here on YouTube.
No.
But I promise to answer them, and I will at the end.
Well, let's see if you have the capacity to answer any questions intelligently without talking rubbish.
Into this video. So first, the objections.
Design, fine-tuning, all of that is just in your head.
What? TJ, you have to be joking, man. It's all in your head? No, TJ. Let me get my laptop. Okay, TJ. This, TJ, was designed.
He's providing an example. Alright? That's not a definition. That is false. That is unintelligent, that is undereducated. That is what VenomFangX does. Do not trust this man, he is evil.
It's not in my head. An intelligence made this, regardless if I perceive its design or not. You gotta be kidding me. TJ, it's all in our head?
No, it's all in your head.
That is the biggest cop-out. That is one of the worst answers I have ever heard to the argument from design. And then you go and admit there is a designer by saying this.
You're right, there is a designer. Confused? So am I.
Well, wait a second. TJ suggested that there was a designer being evolution and natural selection, not one particular individual. Now, let's have a look at what he said here. This statement was deliberately edited to make a point. Well, that is true. You've made a point, and the point is that you are a lying, deceitful bastard, Sean. And you are evil, and no one should trust you. The point is, Sean, no one should trust you.
Okay, TJ. I don't know if I can help you if you don't understand this, but design entails designer.
Well...
every case that we know about. Now, of course, you say that evolution designed us. Well, that's one, admitting that there was design.
Well, only to a certain degree and within certain limits. I think you're twisting the argument.
And two, evolution can be disproved. I recommend that video right there.
Actually, evolution cannot be disproved. Evolution is a fact which is held together by a theory, and that's a theoretical structure as to how it operates. However, we have evolution as a fact. Grow up, Sean.
Move on to your next objection.
Well, first of all, the human mind is not equipped to understand infinity. No person alive on this planet is really qualified to talk about this.
But of course, that wouldn't stop TJ from talking about it for another 5 minutes.
Come off it. You don't understand any concept, Sean. You don't understand infinity either. No one can. You are pathetic and you are a liar. And if you think you can understand these concepts, then you are clinically insane. That's the only word to describe it.
This argument began because I said that there couldn't be an infinite past because you cannot have an infinite amount of finite things.
No, we don't. We've covered this, old chap, okay? We have no idea whether the universe is finite or infinite. We do not know when it began. We just have theories based upon natural phenomenon. Understand that.
Infinite cannot be a number. You can't have an infinite amount of finite things. And I argue that by sequential addition, you can't have an infinite regression. That is to say, since every moment in
No. You provided a lousy argument based upon a model of the world which had no basis upon anything which is real. It was purely fictitious. You used fiction to try and twist people's minds. This is again an example of your supreme evil. Are you actually the Prince of Darkness?
Time is one event after another. You could never add events such that you would reach an infinite amount of events. And if you want proof, start with the number 1, then add another one, say 2, then another one 3, and keep counting until you reach infinity, and message me when you're done. You'll never reach infinity. That proves that time is not infinite, which also proves that time had a beginning.
No, that's got nothing to do with whether time was infinite, nor whether it had a beginning, nor whether it had an end. You are, again, being a deceitful little pain.
And yet TJ then said this, because I said there can't be an actual infinite amount of finite things. So TJ then asked me this.
Your hotel analogy shows that there is no infinity, and it's inarguable. Isn't God supposed to be infinite? Aren't human beings supposed to go on to an infinite reward or an infinite punishment?
While that may seem like a sophisticated objection, it's actually based on a severe misunderstanding of both.
No, it's not based upon a misunderstanding, but you are the one who's got the misunderstanding.
The nature of God and the nature of time, as well as the depth.
No, you don't understand God because you're a godless person who enjoys twisting people's heads. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be really, really messed up later in life, and you're going to be directly responsible for it. And if you think that there's anything good in that, then you are, you're scum. There's nothing in you which is even remotely endearing.
Definition that I gave of infinity, which is an infinite amount of finite things. Now, God is not an infinite amount of finite things. You can't say that God is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 in any way, either in his duration or in his power. Let's use duration first. Some might say, well, if there can't be an infinite past, hasn't God existed forever? Well, God exists without time. So there is no sequence.
Now, this guy is providing alleged hard and fast facts about the nature of God, which is, of course, a concept which can't be fully or properly, completely and utterly understood. So again, he's trying to suggest that he is somehow divine, and he has this divine knowledge, and he's again trying to affect other people's minds in a way which is basically mind control. This man is evil, do not trust him.